Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous Community Show. Commander Crash here, as usual. I'm afraid we were just having some technical difficulties. I apologise for the late start. I didn't give my guest enough time to get set up tonight, so I apologise to him as well. I'm sorry, but we will try and get him in as soon as he can get set up and everything. Or if not, we will have him on another time. But yes, I do apologise for that. But we will get straight on with things. Plenty of things to go over tonight. So as you can hear from the background music, yes, I am still off exploring deep into the dark unknown out there in the galaxy. Yes, I'm absolutely crazy doing this, but I've decided I want to get my explorer rings. I want to get out there and prove that I can get to the centre of the galaxy. So currently I am about here, which is about as far as the back end of nowhere as you can possibly get. Yes, I am just over the halfway mark between Sol and the centre of the galaxy. Crazy, I know, but I need to get to the centre. I need to tick that off my bucket list. Ah, rightio. So, guys, thank you very much for everyone who's joined in tonight already. I can see the chat has gone streaming up. I can't read all those names off. There's so many names, but it's brilliant to see you all. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight, and I hope you've had a good day so far. We've got lots and lots to talk about, so let's crack straight on. If I can get my guest back in, like I said, I will get him in as soon as possible. Yes, we have got the newsletter 70 to go through. We've also got the dev update that went out, I think, today, I believe. And we also have a server patch which was applied today, so we can go over all of these bits and pieces today, and some of the other great news is things in the store. Yay! So lots and lots of pieces to go over. Quick catch up on the chat. Hello to everyone. Ugga Bugga, Commander Jan, Fiery Toad, Abacus, I can see Abacus, Rusty Swords, Dobbo, Hillron, Shannery, Saturnine, greetings, Commander, nice to see you there. Dr. Crunch, Mr. Junks, Commander McLaren. Wow, there's so many people in it tonight. Awesome to see you all. Thank you very, very much. Great to see you along. Now, whilst I don't have anything particularly exciting to tell you about PowerPlay tonight, I may do soon. So I'm itching to, I'm dying to tell you guys. I really want to I really want to talk about it, but stay tuned. Definitely do not miss the next couple of weeks. It's going to be awesome. It's really, really going to be awesome. Cannot wait to talk to you guys about that stuff. Stay tuned, I think, is the expression we are looking for. So, as always, if you have any comments, questions, anything you want to ask whilst we are doing the stream, any things you want me to try and demonstrate, as I'm in the middle of nowhere with nothing but an adder, I will attempt to do it. That is the name of the show. That is what we've always been about, and that's what we've been doing for nearly 2 years. So it's great fun just to interact with you guys. I'm teasing you again. Sorry, Toad. Sorry, Toad. Sorry. So, from the top, let's look at this week's newsletter. So, big headline on the top of the newsletter, we have the official Xbox magazine. They've done a really fantastic article on Elite Dangerous, which is awesome. Obviously, it's coming to Xbox One soon, TM. Probably sometime in the summer, I'd expect. And yes, it's really, really nice to see it getting such a full-page spread in there. You've got the custom artwork, and the guys from OXM came over to the office. They were, the first people since Edge, way back in February last year, that were allowed inside the doors of Frontier to see what the guys are up to, get some exclusive images and screenshots and things from what's going on. So yeah, that's really, really nice to see they're getting that press coverage and getting the interest from other aspects of the gaming industry as well. I know there's a lot of kind of arguments one way or another whether or not it's a good thing, things being on consoles and whatnot, but I think any way you can get more players into the player base and supporting the game is definitely a good thing. So I am really, really pleased to see it getting the publicity it deserves in there, which is really, really awesome. Toadie is banned from PowerPlay. No Mrs. K tonight. No, she is off to the movies tonight. So she's got bored of sitting in at home whilst I waffle away about my favourite game. So yes. She is off tonight. So it looks like my guest may be able to come back in. If you guys bear with me very briefly, I will leave the game footage up on your... Ooh, look, Earth-like. Okay, stop looking. Shiny. Ooh, shiny. Rightio, let's see if we can get our guest on tonight. apologies for that. Yes, we are still having technical issues, networking, sound, and all that business. Is a real pain in the backside. Sorry for that. Yes, it looks like my guest unfortunately cannot make it tonight, but we will try and catch up with him again next week. That is a shame. Saturday night. No, I wasn't answering the doorbell. No, I was genuinely trying to get that sorted. I apologise for that. Like I said, entirely my fault. I didn't get it sorted beforehand. I should have that tested. So let's catch up with the chat on here. Quick question from Retmark. Retmark, greetings, Commander. Nice to see you in. Are unidentified signal sources always ships and weak signal sources always cargo? No, yeah, as the people are saying there, it is kind of random. It's based on various parameters, where you are and what factions control the area and that kind of thing. So there's some things that control what appears. Yes, I have a couple of good guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. Like I said, you might want to stay tuned. I have a really, really important guest coming along very soon. And hopefully I won't have any technical issues that night. It would be very embarrassing otherwise. But yeah, I'll have a really, really good guest coming along for you guys in a couple of weeks. And lots of juicy info on that update that we're all talking about. Yes, PowerPlay is the one we all want. Bigger than Wings, and we know how important Wings was for the game. So that's a bold claim, and I can't wait to see it fulfilled. Shenrei, pop quiz. Should you get a Rift when it is released, or go for a 4K monitor? Wow, that is a very good question. I suppose it depends on the type of games you want to play, and you know, there's so many factors to it. If the primary reason you want to play with a Rift is for something like Elite, cockpit style games, anything like racing games, sat down, that sort of thing, then Rift I think is going to be really, really good. If you just like those awesome screenshots here, I can see Fiery Toad. 4K is lovely, yes. If you want to fill up your hard drive with fantastic looking images that you can print out on A0 posters, then 4K is awesome. Yeah, it does kind of look completely different on a 4K monitor. When we had it running at EGX last year, just looking at Elite was like a poster coming to life. You know, the lines were so clear, the detail of the HUD and everything like that is absolutely fantastic. So it's a tricky thing. It really does depend on what your playstyle is. The fantastic thing with the Rift is obviously the immersion is awesome, but it's one of those things that you've got to stick your head in. You've got to have time to kind of stick your head in it and be locked away for a period of time. It's not as simple as just sitting in front of a monitor and kind of, you know, jumping on your PC like you normally would. There's a little bit more involved. So it depends on your playstyle and what you want to do. The Braven. No, I can't tell you if or when David will show up on the stream. That would be awesome. That would make my year. But yes, I couldn't say. That's entirely up to him having a gap in his ridiculously busy schedule. I don't think anyone appreciates exactly how much that man does. It's crazy. Richard Begg, greetings, Commander. You tried a Rift and it made you dizzy. Yeah, it's not for everyone. If you get a chance to try it, it's definitely worth trying it first to see whether you're comfortable doing that. And you know, don't go buying one straight off the shelves and thinking you're going to be great with it. Definitely see if you can get hold of one and try one. I think we're going to have some at LaveCon this year, which would be really, really awesome to if people can come along to LaveCon and I can demo it for them. I can let them have a go, and that'd be really, really awesome to show you how that works. But yeah, it does take a little bit of getting used to, and it's not for everyone. It's you do kind of build up almost a barrier to it, but it affects different people in different ways. The newer ones are a lot better. The DK one it had very subtle issues with the lack of head movement and things like that. But yeah, it may not suit everyone. So if you can try one before you buy one, definitely try one. But it's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I never get a chance to play with it as much as I'd like, because I literally am so busy doing things. And it doesn't work well on the stream. That's the problem. I would love to use it more on the stream, but it doesn't produce a very good image for you guys to watch. And I have to keep taking it off to read the text, which is a real pain in the backside. So until they get that integration sorted out so I can interact with you guys, I probably won't use it that much. Yeah, that is the other thing as well. Shenmue with the 4K, that the cost of it as well, it is prohibitively expensive at the moment, and you have to have some form of GPU which can drive the damn thing, which is tricky as well. 16, yeah, 16K screenshots. Yeah, they're pretty ridiculous. The screenshots that come out of this game are so high quality. You could print them on a poster. In fact, all of the artwork that was used on the booths at the events was printed in-game from in-game screenshots, which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it is really, really awesome, I must admit. The engine will scale up to screen resolutions that just don't exist yet, and probably won't exist for many, many years. So, the next important part of the newsletter is, of course, there was a big developer update from Michael Brooks, so we'll go ahead and break down into the detail of that, smooth that along. Yeah, as Michael said, first of all, I want to thank everyone who helped make the game #1 bestseller on Steam. So, woohoo! Thank you, Commanders! Really, really awesome to see the community grow. Steam is an important decision, I think, for the guys at Frontier to get it out on Steam, and it has been, you know, a really, really good seller on there. I mean, for 3 or 4 days, Elite knocked Grand Theft Auto 5 off the top slot in the Steam store, and that's quite an impressive achievement. So yeah, well done to the guys at Frontier for getting that up there on Steam and getting it sorted. That's really, really awesome, and thank you to everyone who's bought the game on Steam and kept it up there in the top seller list. Last time I did check on the Steam charts, there were, on average, we're looking at something like 7,000 new commanders in the game from Steam on your average sort of time period, which is awesome. Really, really great to see so many new people suddenly come in. There's lots of new names I'm seeing in the chat as well, which is awesome, so it's great to see you all there now. Lots of new people commenting on the forums as well, which is great. And, you know, anything which increases the size of the community and brings people together is really, really awesome. And the thing I love about it is, you know, we had lots of people coming along with experience and sharing knowledge and how-tos on the game and answering questions and stuff. So really there wasn't a lot that we needed to do moderation wise on the new Steam forums, because people were answering the questions for us, which was awesome. So it was really, really good to see that. So I think the elephant in the room that I must talk about, and this is the contentious point at the moment, and it's one of those unfortunate things. There's always this great fanfare. Frontier have done something great. Here's this big announcement, really, really awesome. And there's always that one little kernel of something which is unclear or not really what people were thinking they were going to see, and it just blows up. It always happens. We know it. It's par for the course now, I think, and every time I see something blow up now, I just laugh it off and carry on, because it's ridiculous. That just seems to be the way things are in this world. So let's jump straight into that. Yes, Steam keys. I am talking about Keygate. Now I'm not gonna do a Mad Dog rant as much as I would like to, but I shall touch on the subject. So yeah, direct from Michael's words here, saying that they are looking into doing the Steam keys. It's not 100% behind, you know, they're not 100% behind the decision. It does take multiple people from different places. They have to get Steam's Valve's buy-in on how the keys get generated and what they're going to cost and everything like that to do it. It isn't something that's just going to happen automatically and for free. Frontier are going to have to sort out some kind of deal with Valve to get Steam keys generated. Now, since I've learned that myself, I'm kind of looking at that now and thinking, you know what, as much as I would like a Steam key, I would gratefully just back down and say, hey, look, if it's going to take time and effort and money away from the future development of the game, I would just say, look, no, I've got the game, I'm fine with it. Just not too worried about the see the chat there, boo, hiss, no, Mr. Junks. Yeah, I would prefer it to go without a Steam key if it means that it's going to be taking time and resource away from continuing to improve the game. So I think that's an important factor in there that wasn't considered in a lot of people's arguments when they're saying, hey, we wanted a Steam key. Yeah, XLG, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, and unless you really want those Steam features, it's not really worth it. Irvin 4, that is a difficult question. I get that asked a lot. Am I a Frontier employee? Technically, no. I do not work for Frontier. I am the first ambassador that they picked from the community to help promote the game and everything. Max Ursa calls me the Lord Ambassador. Yeah, I was just a fan that they picked it random, I believe. Wow, I assume random. I can't believe I'm that lucky. But yeah, they invited me to come to events, help them demo the game. I've been to E3, EGX, BAFTAs, Gamescom. I've been to all these events with them, helping to promote and demo the game. I've had the guys on the stream talking about various things. You missed the 100th show. I'm sorry you missed that. A couple of weeks ago we did the 100th show. We had 3 of the devs and I was teamed up with them. We were having a bit of fun there. Oh, I got some in-game messages there, but I'll read that out. So yeah, it's kind of a complicated relationship, but Frontier have been great to me. They they really have supported the stream. They've helped promote the stream, and they just love taking me to these events, which is awesome. Quick catch up with the chat there. Sorry if I've missed everything, guys. So yes, Steam keys. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm fed up of talking about Steam keys. I apologise if you want one and you haven't got one, but quite frankly, I would rather not have one, and that's my final word on that. I want the money to go into PowerPlay. That's where I want it to go. So moving along, Mac Beta. Yes, the Mac Beta is out now, so if you have got a Mac and you are not playing the game, what on earth are you doing with yourself? It's probably the best game you can get on Mac right now. But looking at Mac's library of games, that's probably not saying much, is it? No, I jest. I've got to poke fun at Mac when I'm running a PC. So yeah, I'd be interested to see people's thoughts on how it's running on Mac. And obviously there's going to be some tweaks and improvements going on into the game, so it's going to be really, really good to see people's thoughts on it and how it's working for them. But on the plus side as well, there was a slight hint saying that it might overlap into the testing of PowerPlay, so that's might only be a few weeks away. So like I said, stay tuned. Commander McLaren, you don't get the fuss with the Steam keys, didn't even know what they were. Yeah, absolutely. Commander Franton, there's still big issues on the Mac client not detecting multiple GPUs properly. That's a shame. Can't be played on an Intel Iris GPU. Oh, that's a pain in the backside. Yeah, the frame rate is too low. Yeah, see, this is the thing that I thought was a problem. I didn't realise until I started reading into more information on the Mac that a lot of them run mobile chipsets. They don't tend to run the big desktop CPUs that you see on PC. But yeah, it's, when you look at some of these Macs and they're running pretty low-end GPUs in comparison to some of the stuff you play on PC, and the Cobra engine is quite heavily dependent on GPU architecture. It does a lot of GPU kind of work for calculating all the procedurally generated content and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's why the specs are so high on the Mac, really, because of that extra oomph that's required. And this is one of the things that has kept the development of Elite Dangerous held back for so many years, is that the guys at Frontier have had to wait for technology to catch up. This is the problem that they've had. They've wanted to do the game many years ago, but just couldn't because technology wasn't there. Selfie cam, yeah, sorry, it's gratuitous selfie cam there. Just look how pretty it is. This game's so pretty. But yeah, it was a problem. They needed to wait for that power to be available to start producing all of this fancy content that you see in front of you. Procedural generation is literally just a way of trading off ridiculous storage cost for processing ability that you have available. You've got to try and find that balance for what you're trying to do, what you're trying to represent. So that is a real shame, but hopefully some improvements will come in. I mean, in the last beta for PC, they made some massive improvements to the performance late in the day, so I'm hoping it will start to draw in, and they can drop the spec requirements for it, which would be really, really good. I mean, I want it to be available for as many people as possible, and if it's coming out to Xbox One, then that is kind of a mid to low-end PC sort of specification. So it's something we might see moving down to other machines. Interesting fact, I did hear that Nintendo are looking at making a new console. There's an announcement they made. Nintendo NX, I believe it was. So that would be interesting. Soon, maybe. Let's have a quick check through the chat there. Apologise if I missed you, I was waffling off. Commander Franton, you have a laptop with both an Intel Iris and a GeForce 750M, and it fails to find the GeForce. Right, okay. So I imagine that's some device enumeration problem that could probably be fixed, and as soon as that's detecting the correct devices, then you'll see a massive improvement in performance there on it. I mean, I'm quite impressed with the scalability of the engine. I've seen it, as I've said before, I've seen it running on a Surface Pro 3, for goodness sake. Yeah, about 20 frames per second, 20, 30 frames per second, something like that. But yeah, it runs on such a range of hardware. It's really, really cool. Mr. Jones wants us to pause while we make a coffee, so... I'm kidding. I'm sorry, Mr. Junks. But you won't miss much. We'll hold off until you get back. Spooky 2. What's the most demanding part of ED coding-wise? Difficult to say coding-wise in terms of structure, but yeah, I believe the most performance-dependent part of it is all the procedural generation stuff, which happens on the GPU, which obviously for big PCs with big GPUs is not much of an issue, but it is one of the biggest, most important things in games, because everything in the game is procedure generated, and I love that. You know, the textures on the surfaces of the ships and things like that, that leathery texture on my dashboard there, or no, that's cheap plastic I think on my dashboard there, but all of that is all generated, which is really, really awesome. I love that stuff. Procedural generation for the win. So cool, which is why the installer is about 4 to 5 gig, not some crazy amount like 60 plus, which is really, really awesome. All that, and you have an entire galaxy in less space than a single DVD. That's pretty awesome. Fuel scooping. So on community news, I would like to officially welcome someone who's very well known in the elite community during the time of the Kickstarter, Commander Jaunty. Greetings, welcome to the Void, Commander. Yes, I was chatting to him last night. He managed to get into the game. I gave him a quick hand with the verification process, because it's damn confusing if you haven't been through all the websites. But once you get through and you get logged in, it's great. So congratulations, Commander Jaunty. It's great to see you in the game, and hopefully I will see that fedora floating around in space somewhere out there. Sentinel, greetings, Commander. Yes, the Star Citizen client install is supposed to be around 100 gig download. GTA 5 preload was around 60 something gig. Yeah, it's pretty huge. Games are getting bigger and bigger these days, and you know, this is one of the things that I'm really, really passionate about with the Cobra engine. Is not so much the game. I mean, I love the game. I love everything about it. I love the community behind it. It's really, really awesome. But what I love the most about this game is the engine, the technology that goes into it. The procedural generation stuff is things that it's fascinated me from a very early age. The original games in this franchise were what got me into programming. It's what really got me interested into how games work and everything. And you know, these were the things that fascinated me. I wanted to know how this kind of stuff worked. And yes, XOG, your Elite folder is 3.8 gig. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy. And the beauty of it is, like I said, it is just this balance between how much storage you have available and how much processing power you can afford to create the content as you need it. That's the really, really cool thing about it. And I love the idea of it being the future of how games are developed, more things being procedurally generated. I don't think we can sustain this industry in such a way that content is still handcrafted for much longer. We're looking at, you know, the size of these games that are getting to now 50 to 100 gigabytes for a client install of a game. It's just getting ridiculous. It's too big for people to manage downloading it and getting it onto their machines. It takes up too much space. It takes so long and so many people to generate this content. It's getting really, really difficult and getting to the point now where it's so expensive to actually build all of this content in a game. It's becoming prohibitive to make games have more detail in them and be more, you know, the higher quality and more content and more, you know, all this stuff. It's going exponential. It's ridiculous. So this is why procedural generation is an important thing. It takes just a little bit of what you're doing and it amplifies it out. That's the magic of it. That's what really, really makes it amazing. Once you've made that template for how your content should be, you can just explode, you know, you throw it into some procedural generation content and just absolutely blow it out there and create so much content. That's what I love. That's what's really, really awesome. Tomin's live. Greetings, Commander. Basically, each texture generated the same way as a Minecraft map. Same sort of idea, yeah. Basically, if I come outside on the ship here, let's have a look around some of the details on that. Oh, you can't really see my. I'm in the shadow, unfortunately. But yeah, all the little details, like the ZP logo there, all these things, the hot surface. The little text on there, all this thing, hard point, small, all the text, all of this stuff is actually generated like a vector, like you would in a paint program, you know, a typical vector program, and then it's all stamped down into textures on the fly by the engine. It's all generated on the fly. Oh, there we go. We've got a bit of light from the star behind me now. So all that stuff is created out of various kind of patterns, you know, Perlin noise and various procedural techniques and layered on, and I love it. I think it's really, really awesome. You can get some really great effects out of it, and it means you can generate the textures bigger and bigger. So as we scale up to 4K monitors, you can have more and more detail on these textures. They do not lose quality as you get closer and closer. So when we start to go down to the first person mode, they don't need to make any more content. The content will get created just by turning that knob up to 11 and kind of increasing the texture level one more step. And that's the important thing about it is you know, a lot of people are kind of berating things, saying, oh, there's no fidelity in procedural content and everything like that. But no, it's you just keep turning it up. You add more layers to it, you add more complexity and more levels of detail, and you start drilling down, and you only build as much as you need. So when you get down to the point of needing a first-person camera and needing to get right up close to textures and details and things, you can actually just turn all of those features up and start adding more layers in. That's the beauty of it. Mindwipe UK, what do I think about the new paint jobs? I think it's great to see them on so many ships. I mean, yeah, they're basic block colours, they're not going to blow anyone away, but they're a lot cheaper. I mean, 6 paint jobs for £5. Previous paint jobs, some of the complicated ones were £2 to £3 each, for, you know, the really fancy ones with the skulls on and things like that. I think it's great to see it, and the fact that they've got it for most, virtually all but one of the ships, that's really, really cool, because everyone likes a bit of customization. That's what it's all about, and it's entirely optional. You only have to buy these things if you want to buy these things. I definitely want to get some. Unfortunately, I'm nowhere near a station now. If I could have had these last week before I set off into the depths of the unknown, I would have bought a pack for my adder, and I will be buying some as soon as I get back, because I want custom colours. I want a red ship of every kind, and that's really, really awesome. Yeah, I know. I'm going to step out on a limb and say that's going to be the next rant on the forum. I haven't seen it yet, but obviously one of the things which was excluded was the Anaconda is not included in the paint packs, which is unfortunate. I think it's just they just missed the mark on that. They haven't a chance to get that one out, which is a shame. And I know loads of people are going to be complaining about that, so what I'm going to set now is just say it's Condagate. Yay! Someone is going to go create a thread on that now and start complaining about how Frontier don't consider people in Anacondas. It's not fair, and we put the most effort into the game and spend the most money. Why should we get paint jobs? Blah, 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 blah. I preempt that now. But yeah. Shenray, yes, I want a yellow Anaconda so it looks like a banana. Awesome. Yes, it's not the vibrant skin pack, it's the fruit pastel skin packs. Absolutely. That's what it should be called. P. Asilo, you played Frontier Elite 2 on your Amiga. One-sided floppy disk included the Milky Way. Yeah, absolutely. And let me see if I can get this out now. Like I said, unfortunately, I've seen a lot of new names in there because of the Steam release. I've seen a lot of you guys come along, which is great to see you. Unfortunately, you missed my 100th show. You can catch up with it on YouTube, though, if you do want to see the 100th show. But yes, as you can see here, I do have the original Elite Amiga. Oh, there we go. Favorite. I grew up with that game. I've got the Amiga packed away at the moment. I do have my 600 as well. Gotta love the 600. Grew up with this thing, learned to program on this and the various predecessors. Absolutely awesome. Put that back down. Yeah, I love that. I love that version of the game. It was probably my favourite. Shinray, you really want a chrome or gold skin for the Further Lance? Yeah, you've got to have a gold skin for the Further Lance, absolutely. Oh, chat is streaming up now. Quickly. Mr. Junks, yes, I saw your version of the Further Lance with spoilers and air horns and everything like that. Maybe in PowerPlay, maybe we can add that on. Like GTA car modding, yes, absolutely. Nerd alert, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, total nerd alert. And I can get even more retro. If 16-bit doesn't do it for you, I can go even further back. There's some 8-bit for you. That's some real retro. You don't get more retro than 8-bit. 880 kilobytes on the Amiga. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. I was one of these kind of people that wanted to tinker, so I played around with the content of the original game on the Amiga. Frontier Elite 2 was absolute masterpiece of engineering. The detail that went into that to make it work on such meager hardware and stuffed it into such a small space. It's absolutely crazy. Some of the optimizations that went into the procedural generation stuff on that is amazing. You know, the fact that most of the ships were symmetrical, so they only stored half of the vertices to make the ship up, and the engine automatically flipped them and created the missing details and stuff like that. Fantastic. Really, really loved it. Shizzle there. You call it the Skittles paint pack. That's a good one as well. I like that one. Gaming with Ian. Which programming language was that on the A600? I use several. I've got my Amos and Amos Pro discs down here somewhere. Blitz Basic, I used a little bit of that as well. Various bits and pieces. It was a lot more difficult to do things on the Amiga. You had to have some of the software packages to get anywhere with it. But the Speccy was fantastic. I mean, I love the Speccy because you could just pick it up and start programming on it. That was fantastic. It booted straight into an interpreter, which, you know, you just don't get that these days. And as much as I love the Raspberry Pi, I think the Raspberry Pi was absolutely awesome. But what I wanted for it when it came out was, and there probably is a distro for this now, but what I wanted was a distro that just booted straight into an interpreter and just let people play around with it. Yeah, and see, I'm geeking out now. You guys have distracted me. You've totally geeked me out. We better get back onto the to the dev update. Sorry. See. Retro and procedural generation. You get Crash talking about that, and he can go on all night. Yes, seriously, it will soon turn into a 4-hour stream. I remember those days. Amos, yes, Richard Begg, Amos, love it. I'm not going to dig the discs out. I could quite happily do it. Yes, if you check out below the video, actually, there should be some link to the YouTube channel, and you can check out the 100 stream that went up a couple of weeks ago. And I had the Amiga and the Spectrum and the NES version of Elite running for the guys at Frontier. They were absolutely besotted with that. They loved it. And I got it all running on the stream, which was really, really awesome. I'll have to do that a little bit longer, but maybe we can do a charity stream one day and show some more of the games, the old school games. That would be really, really awesome. Yes, I am jumping to a scoopable star. I always get paranoid when the fuel starts to get to about 50%, whether or not I'm going to make that. Saturnine, you don't mind a 4-hour stream? I would if I could, but I think I'd get divorced. So let's get on with the dev notes. Rightio. Yes, so the next thing, yes, as we've been talking, PowerPlay is the next big update, which is coming out. Some interesting stuff. Michael's hinted at various things. He said the core of it is going to be something which is really close to his heart. He's hinted at things like drones, which are going to be used for collecting cargo, sharing fuel, helping mining to make mining a bit more seamless, that kind of thing. Lots and lots of little bits and pieces, little, tidbits of information that's been shared around, but nothing really solid, concrete coming from the Brooks. He really is a big tease, and that's where I get it from. One little thing that came out today, actually, I will point it out. Is it here? Is it this side? There we go. Yep, there it is. Yes, the level 2 and level 3 scans have been fixed, which also proves me wrong from last week when I was hoping there would be more to it than that. But yeah, it's basically different levels of scans. But hey, look at that! Look at that! Number of systems visited. Leet. Ha! Congrats! Thargoids. I'd love to see the Thargoids. Yes, they are out there. The game files are very much there, but no one's found them yet. But yeah, no, they're going to be really, really interesting when the Thargoids come in, because, as David said, he's really keen to get this idea out that whoever bumps into the Thargoids and interacts with them first is going to set a precedence for how the story goes. And this is something that the game's always been about, really, is the stories that we're creating as a community. That's what Frontier have been trying to tell us, and I know a lot of people have not picked up on that and what it means to do that. You know, we're not going to have this narrative, these cutscenes, characters coming in talking to you directly. It's not about that. It's not about how the game feeds that to you. It's how what we feed into it and what we want out of it, and then Frontier are going to be making more stuff. So I can't wait to hear those little rumours of the Thargoids coming out. Rusty swords. I won't click that link just in case it's something rude. Okay, sorry, I was just checking the questions. No more on there. Right, I will check very, very briefly. Yes, I'm an idiot. I ended up going into solo. I didn't want to do that. Hopefully... Let's jump back into open really, really quickly. And I'm hoping I can meet up with someone. That was the plan tonight. The secret plan that I didn't tell you about. Shh. Yes, you guys, if you by all means share that. That is really awesome. The Uncle Art Kickstarter, which is going on at the moment, that is so cool. Now, for those of you who don't know Uncle Art, he's the guy. This is the guy. He created a lot of awesome tunes, retro tunes from back in the day. Is he here? He's beaten me to the punch already. So we get there. Yeah, he created some awesome tunes. One of the tunes, which is close to my heart, obviously, is the Elite 2 theme tune, which was my ringtone for a period of time. I like it that much. But yeah, so he created that back in the day. He's starting a Kickstarter at the moment to get funding to get it done in a full orchestral score. If you are not backing that, please click that link. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome. Elaverick, what do I think the Diamondback is going to be role-wise? It is interesting, isn't it? If we go back to the newsletter, that's one of the things that was announced. The Diamondback is a new ship, which has been posted up. A little concept art on there, a little hint. It looks somewhere between a Vulture and a Type 7. It's a really weird combination of ships there. Maybe an Alliance ship. Who knows? It'd be really, really cool. I mean, looking at it, role-wise, it looks like quite a heavy-duty ship. Probably going to be a good all-rounder, I think. I think that's going to be good for doing a lot of different things. So, tricky to say. Diamondback was one, I mean, it wasn't in Frontier Elite 2. It hinted at a lot in some of the lore. It was one of the ones that was mentioned in some of the book information and things like that. But, yeah, first time I said it. It was originally earmarked to be one that would potentially get dropped. But it's making its way in, so hopefully that opens the floodgate for even more ships to be added. I mean, the background of the game has got so many ships that are out there that could be added into the game. So hopefully we will see all of those ships make a comeback. And I'm voting for the crate. For you, Snuffles. For you. Yes, I would like to see the crate come back. Max Ursa, you reckon it's going to be a good sprint trader, blockade runner, or smuggler? Yeah, I think that's probably a good shout for that one. It looks fairly heavy duty. Hard to see where the fire points might fit on that one at the moment, but pretty cool. Chiana's Geek, not the Moray Starboat. What's wrong with the Moray Starboat? It was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? I must admit, bit of a strange one. Something that you could use as a submarine as well as a spaceship. Okay, the Courier, yes, the Imperial Courier. Mamba, Boa, yes, I'd like to see those. I mean, this is what I mean. There are so many ships out there which could come back into the game. I'm kind of hoping that over the course of the development of the game, once all of the planned ships that have been announced and confirmed are in and done, there's always room for more. You know, we can put more in. You know, even if we can't have a crate 2, maybe? Yes, the Moray Starboat. It did look upside down. It was a really, really weird design. It was really, really strange. Not as much as the Lion Transport. No, hey, steady mind. I took the Lion Transport around in Frontier Elite 2 to do mining, and it was a tank. It was pretty awful, but... Name a snake. Yes, there is an elite ship for every snake out there. Greetings, Commander Psycho Cow. Better late than never, sir. So let's quickly get back to the dev news before I get distracted. You guys are really, really distracting me today. See, I love to chat to you guys. That's the problem. I could quite happily chat about everything to do with the game, past, present, and future. So I think the most important thing, which was mentioned in the dev update, I think everyone's talking about it, is the mission overhaul. So yes, the mission system is going to get a complete overhaul as part of the PowerPlay update. That isn't the core feature. I must stress that. There is something really big which is still yet to be announced about PowerPlay, but one of the big improvements what you're going to see in there is a complete overhaul to the mission system. So I'm hoping that's going to mean more branches, more detailed and interesting story arcs to go down on the mission system, which is really awesome to see. Salute! You guys are crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is something I said right from the beginning, particularly when looking at things in the DDF archives and everything. One of the things that was a real concern to me was having enough variation and interesting stuff going on in the mission arcs. And at the moment, I must say, yeah, I feel the same as everyone else. It is a little scarce on the ground. I want to see more detail in the mission system. So this is a much welcomed addition to the game, to see the mission system get more detail. Now, a lot of people come at the game, they've expected a lot of direction. You know, I think with games over the past few decades really have kind of progressed more towards that idea of having an exact direction to go in, a storyline, an arc to take you down. Elite's gone completely the opposite side of it. It's totally freeform with little bits of direction, little missions sending you down little paths with one or two branches, and that's kind of the limit of where it's got to really, which a lot of people weren't expecting that. A lot of people come into the game and say, where's my narrative, where's my story arc, where's the missions which are taking me down this story, you know, and that's not what Elite was designed to do. With the PowerPlay update, we're going to see a lot more direction on there, a lot more missions linking into other missions and stuff like that, I think, which is going to be really cool. But Wildebeest, yeah, we were talking about this earlier on, the Vibrant skins. I would love to buy one. Unfortunately, I am nowhere near a space station. As soon as I get back with my adder, I am buying a pack of skins for my adder. I want a red adder. I just like red ships. Red ships go faster, don't you know? It's something to do with the hyperspace interaction and the space-time continuum and quantum fluctuations and stuff. It is, trust me. It's the wavelengths of red light, you see. That's how it works. Science. Ah, yes, Dobbo, very good point. Great to see you on there. Yes, so the level and 2 survey stats on there, we were just having a quick look at those just now. They've been clarified that yes, crikey, I'm in the heat. As you can see by my 6% damage on my hull, I've got too close to a few stars, so I'm just going to shoot away from the star there a bit quick before I start waffling on. So yes, you can see down the bottom here I've got 117 level 2 scans and 221 detailed scans. So yeah, those stats literally are the things like detailed surface scans and the level, you know, approaching it, you get the initial scan, and if you've got a detailed surface scan, you get another level scan. That's all it is. It's unfortunate. I was hoping that it was going to be more to it than that. I still hope we see things like atmospheric probes and surface probes. I don't see why not. Makes a good gameplay element, I think. Gets you closer to systems and planets and things like that. So hopefully we will see that in the future. But unfortunately, yes, you guys were right. It's just a bug. Damn. But it's been fixed, so that's good. Rusty Swords, if you're the first to find the Thargoids, you're going to send them to the Tesh Hub system. Thank you very much. That's just great. That's almost as bad as everyone dumping toxic waste in Slough. Thank you guys. I can trust you guys to make a mess of it. Abacus! Red ships, Ferrari ships. Yeah, absolutely. That's why everyone loves the Fer de Lance. It looks like a Ferrari in space. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I joke about the Tesh Hub system. I mean, really, I'm not worried how it turns out. I'm just ecstatic to see it change and see the impact that we as a community can make on the game. I think that's awesome. That's what I love about the game. I don't care if LFT-133 goes into a state of anarchy and it all starts going wrong and there's war breaks out, and, you know, I think that would be cool. You know, so if we cause that, and it's because of something we've done, I think that's awesome. I love the interaction we can do with the game, not the outcome. Quickly check the thing. I don't know. Wasn't there some concern that Kerrash that the values were reversed? I heard talk about that on the forum. Oh, for the detailed scans, yeah. Yeah, I did see some things on that on the forum as well. It was never confirmed though. And I do like to waffle and speculate, so I apologise. Sentinel, is that your stats on there? Yeah, I mean, as you can see from my stats as well, I've visited many more systems than I've thoroughly scanned, and I'm power exploring at the moment. I'm not scanning every single thing. I'm not even checking for Earth-likes, because every time I look in the system map and see an Earth-like, I go off on a 10-15 minute jolly around a system, scanning every little thing, and yeah, exploration's kind of addictive. It's a completionist nightmare. 400 billion star systems. Gotta scan them all. Gotta scan them all. Rusty Swords. No, I am not. I am not declaring war on Slough. Kate would kill me. Yeah, as I was saying, Sentinel, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and scan a few more systems, because I've visited way more than I've thoroughly scanned, so yeah, it's a nightmare. I really should pay more attention to scanning these things. So yeah, other little nifty things, another little tease that Michael Brooks has put out there. I think this is a really, really cool thing. Now, I mentioned a couple of weeks back some similar things like this. I was talking about this and the idea of ammunition, but he's teased that you can give up an extra internal cargo bay for an additional fuel tank to give you more range. I think that's a really, really cool thing, particularly for explorers, because you tend to have those vast gaps where you've got nothing but T-Tauri stars or brown dwarfs or some horrible damn thing that you can't scoop, and it's really nerve-wracking. And whilst you haven't got that fuel on board, obviously you've still got the jump range that you would have in an explorer. I don't think it's going to be as useful for a trader. Maybe early on, before you've fully fitted out your trade ship, it might be useful to have additional fuel tanks, but definitely for explorers, fuel tank is going to be a welcome addition there. I think I definitely would love one of those. Shinari, 430 tons of fuel. Yeah, that would be a little bit excessive in an Anaconda. But a tanker, yes, a tanker. That is a good point. Now that we've got the drones coming in the next update, so you can share fuel with other players, that would be a really, really interesting thing. You could have a wing of players out there, someone in a big ship with lots of fuel and handing it out to the people. I can imagine you could kind of spider out and explore a lot of systems as you've got the big tanker jumping slowly down a path with its slightly limited jump range because of the additional mass of the fuel, but then little people working in a wing kind of going off to nearby stars that look interesting and kind of coming back, fueling back up and doing that kind of thing. You know, that's really going to help the teamwork in exploration, I think, which is going to be good to see. I'm hoping to show you something in the lines of teamwork in exploration very, very shortly, if I can get there in time. The problem with exploration is the time. You must sacrifice the time involved in doing it. So I think that's pretty much everything for the dev update. We've covered the peak of the week as well, which is really, really awesome. Huge props and massive shout out to the guys that went to I-54. I can see our beloved Ed Lewis there demoing the Oculus Rift version of Elite Dangerous there. Always a big seller to the crowds there. And it was awesome to see that Bill Bailey is a big avid gamer. I didn't realise that, and he was having a whale of a time playing Elite Dangerous there. It's awesome to see people that you recognise suddenly come along and think, oh yeah, playing this game. You think, wow, you know, it's nice to see that it touches such a broad range of people, and lots of different people find it interesting. Questions. But Wildebeest, can I confirm that Anaconda skins are being held up by the Drone Patrons Union? Demand a higher base wage. That must be what it is. That must be what it is. No, I did joke earlier on that the Anaconda paint jobs, they simply just ran out of spray paint with the Anacondas because they're so large. That's what it is. That's why we're not seeing them. No, I assume there was some technical difficulty with getting it to the Anaconda on time for the store. Obviously, they wanted to try and get everything together, but we've just not got the Anaconda. For them to miss one ship, it's got to be some unforeseen setback, unfortunately. It's not something where Frontier are just being mean to those poor Anaconda owners out there with their billions and billions of credits they must have by now, not being able to customize their paint job. It's terrible. Terrible. Ian Wright 71, yes, Bill Bailey, the actor, comedian, yes, he was playing Elite at I-54, which was really, really awesome. Mindwipe UK, that is a really, really interesting idea, actually. Yeah, being able to use the drones to go out and repair sections of the hull. That would be a nice kind of extension. Yeah, particularly for long voyages, yeah, because I know we've got the I haven't got one. Yeah, you didn't see that. Kerrash is an idiot, I know, on his way to Sagittarius A, and he doesn't have a field maintenance module. Grab life by the balls. Yeah, but it'd be really interesting to see if we can have something to repair the hull as well, because obviously the field maintenance module only repairs modules, not the hull, so that would be interesting. Little drone going out, bolting some panels and welding them on there. Be pretty cool. Resri, it goes well, sir. Great to see you in the chat. I hope you've been having good streams recently, sir. Unfortunately, I've not had a chance to catch up with you, but I'm sure you were out there streaming away, so I do appreciate that. Thank you for spreading the good word of Elite. All you streamers out there, you are absolutely awesome. And there's Toad. Speaking of awesome streamers, there he is. Yes, I very much hope that my little dig gets you somewhere, Toad. You deserve Twitch partnership. If there's anything if we can sign a petition, if everyone in the chat can form a petition and get Toad Twitch partnership, we need to set that up. If anyone can set that up, start that off now, and I will get that tweeted out. He deserves a partnership. He needs a partnership. XOG, yes, I do have a fuel scoop. I didn't set off with exploration without a fuel scoop. That would be pretty stupid. That would be schoolboy error, absolutely. Yes, because yeah, Frontier is still collecting the gold required to make the exclusive Anaconda skin pack in pure gold plating.
Fuel scooping.
Dobbo, that is relieving to know that. Thank you very much. You went all the way to the core and back without a field maintenance module and came back with over 80% hull. And it was just heat damage it was doing that. Yeah, yeah. That's okay then. Okay, I'm not a complete idiot. I was concerned that I didn't do that. I wanted the extra jump range rather than sacrificing it by putting the mass of the maintenance module in there, but... Allran, greetings, Commander. Hi, you're about to jump into the adder yourself. You're about 5,000 credits short. Does the adder have a limited viewing outside of the ship? It looks like you have a lot of roof up there. Yeah, it's a pretty naff view from inside, but I think is it Control Alt in space as a default? I've got it bound to F12, but you can go into selfie cam mode and get some awesome shots of space whilst you're out here. So you're not completely limited in the adder, but it's a great little ship. It is the poor man's explorer ship. You can get an awesome range on it, somewhere close to 30 light years. There we go, 30 light years when I'm mostly empty. It's up there. The ASP, I think you can get to around 37 light years with the ASP, but it's so expensive, and if you scratch the paint on that, you'll never be afford to replace the damn thing. Shenrei. I should wear a green jumper so I could look like Holly from Red Dwarf on there. Yeah, I've... You've just hit the nail on the head with my sense of humour on there. I've played around with a green t-shirt on the green screen. It's great fun. I really thought about doing it. I will try and get a matching green screen ship for you. It would be awesome. Graham Atone. No, we don't need to DDoS Twitch. We just need to get Fiery Dog up there. He needs that partnership. He has been doing fantastic things for Elite and the community out there, and he needs that. He needs that partnership. Mad Dog. Mad Dog is awesome as well. Absolutely love Mad Dog. I do appreciate his rants. They help relieve the stress after a long day in the forum. Oh, there we go. From the word of mouth, Fiery Toad, 34 light years in the Asp, 40 in the Conda. I have heard that the Anaconda can get a ridiculously high jump range if you empty it out of all of its internal modules. That's really, really cool. XRG, yes, I have heard about the Midnight voice pack, which is going to be released next Friday. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love those voice packs. Such a cool idea. I love the idea of being able to talk to your ship and everything. It's really, really good fun. No more questions for now. Yes, if I had the green T-shirt, it would be like having the old Kerrash bobblehead back on the dashboard. Funnily enough, I mean, I would love the bobbleheads to come back, and I know so many of the guys at Frontier would also love the bobbleheads to come back, and I know you guys want the bobbleheads back in there. It would be great to see them come back in. I don't know if or when they might make a return, but I would love to see them if they come back into the store. I know they would be a big seller. I would buy the heck out of them, and most of the art team would love to put my head on a bobblehead model in the game. So fingers crossed, hopefully. That would be a really, really cool addition. Spoiler, PowerPlay is all about the bobbleheads. Damn, Resri, you guessed it. Tim Wheatley, greetings, Commander. I can see you there in the chat. Right, let's not hold back the suspense anymore. Let's try and get you into a wing. Yes, I've got the voice turned off at the moment because I don't believe you have access to voice. Come on. Oh, Commanders. Automatic. Oh, I say that so much. On my way. There we go. We have Mr. Wheatley. And we have the static. I love that static effect. I know it bugs people, but I love it. Let's see if we can find Mr. Wheatley. Now, I was chatting earlier on and I found... Oh, here we go. Here we go. He has jumped back a system. He is in the system with me now. I mean, what are the chances? There we are. Hey! Greetings! How awesome is that? In the middle of nowhere. In the depths of space. And here we are, we find another player. I was chatting away today and just happened to see that Tim has got about 300 light years away from me. How insane is that? You know, of all of the places you can go and see, the probability of bumping into another player in 400 billion star systems is just mind-blowing. It's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So I'm going to drop out and we shall head on our way. Mr. Junk is going to Photoshop my head onto a bobblehead there. Mech Shadow Beast, where did I get the t-shirt I was wearing tonight? See, this is... I have to show you. You got it? Get it? Kiss my... Yeah? Okay, yeah. I'm not sure I can tell you where. It was kind of a gift, so yeah. Magic Mouse chatting me in game there. Hang on, let's just answer to him. I sure am heading out to Sag. Yes, Sagittarius A star, the center of the galaxy. Dr. Crunch, you are very welcome, sir. I enjoy chatting to you guys. That's what this show has always been about, is interacting with you guys in the community. Oh, sounds good. Yeah, it's all about you guys. That's what this show has always been about. It's interacting with you guys, giving the feedback that you want, letting you guys have a voice and give the feedback so that I can pass it on to the guys at Frontier and I can pass on the information from them to you. They would love to give you more information, but you know the way that things are, marketing and the interacting with games community and stuff like that, they can't tell you everything. But there we go. He's navlocked to me, right? Let's set up a route now. They would love to tell you more. The guys at Frontier are so keen to share the information about what they're building. They're enthusiastic about the game as the rest of us players. And holy smokes, the sheer volume of stars it's getting insane. I'm not even near the core now. Oh my god. Right, let's... Nope, that's slightly out of range. Still out of range. The scale of this game is just sheer mind-boggling. There we go. No! Damn you! See if we... No! So close. I've lost all sense of perspective because these stars are bunched together so frequently now. I've lost my sense of perspective of how far these things are apart. I think each one of these grid coordinates is now 1 light year, so it looks like on average these stars are, you know, single-digit light years away from each other. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Come on, calculate a route. It starts to get really crazy at this level. Quickly catch up on the chat. There's Wheatley T! Greetings, Commander. You're chatting there, you're chatting in the game. If I crash into a star, you can let me know on the Twitch chat. Oh, Route Planner is struggling now. It's ticking away. Look at that. Oh, we need more threads. We need more threads. This is the first time this has happened to me, I think. In all the time it's taken for me to get this far, this is the first time I've seen it take this long. Can I cancel that at all? Oh, crikey. Oh, yes, right, let's attempt that again. Honestly, I've never seen the game chug along like that. That's unfortunate. I don't think Frontier expected many people to be crazy enough to do something like this. Let's just pick a random star somewhere near where we want to be. You'll do. Right. How far that way? 950. Please calculate. That's better. 0, 50, 81. Chunk, chunk, chunk. That is so many routes to calculate. I appreciate the sheer volume of quantity of data that needs to be parsed in order for that process to calculate that route. It's insane. There we go. Right, we can get on our way now. Excellent. Right. Sorry for the delay there, guys. That's insane. Oh, damn. Just missed that. I apologise. I will catch you in a second. Gaming with Ian. Have I managed to fix that random crash I was having with my PC? It seems to be a lot more stable now. Thank you. Yeah. I've kind of done a few tweaks and all, so I'm hoping I figured out what it is. So. Shizzle, you suggested turn off all but one type of star. That's a good shout, actually. If I had less entities to render in the point cloud there, that would be probably be an improvement. I don't need to see all the stars after all. So let's go and turn a few of these off on there. O-type. The most common seems to be these blue ones, red ones. Yep. So we'll scatter that along. The blue and the yellow ones are interesting. F-type and G-type, those kind of stars tend to be harboring pretty good planetary bodies around them. Oh, unfortunately, Mr. Wheatley has not caught up with me yet. I will take the time to... Oh, dare I look at the system map? I'm going to see interesting things. No Earth-likes, just frozen, rocky wastelands. Any more questions in there? Quickly. Photo, thankfully they didn't add a 10,000 light year route planner. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. I'm really appreciating the fact that there was a 1,000 light year update on there. Augments, was there a patch today? Yes, there was, and on that note I will get back to reading out the patch notes and the updates and everything for you guys, because I was getting distracted again. I love chatting to you guys, I'm sorry. Yes, So obviously the vibrant paint jobs were added, which was really awesome. All of the ships except the Anaconda have now got 6 different solid colour paint jobs that you can buy for £5, which is a lot cheaper than they were before, so that's really, really awesome. And it's a nice little bit of custom flair to it. Completely optional, but awesome, and it kind of support the game. Get out there and buy those paint jobs, it's really, really awesome. Various fixes for the star system generation, track IR, which is really awesome. Just the terraforming data. That intrigues me as exactly what that is. Maybe that's just to do with systems which are terraformable. Let's just check that Tim is there. I'm wondering whether Mr. Wheatley has still got the exploration bug this far out and is not rushing to get to the core. He's checking every single planet. Yes, he's struggling to get it down. Yeah, it is a crazy, crazy level of stars out. You can see by the background, I mean, when we used to be further on out, you'd look around and there'd be pretty thick areas of black around. Now, the night sky is just absolutely thick with stars. Really, really dense. And I'm not even near the core yet. You can still see there is so much more to come. And I'm right in the middle of this disk now. The arc of the Milky Way there is just absolutely ridiculous. Completely engulfed in this. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Fiery Totes, any word on being able to name ships? I would really love to see that come in. I fear that it is way down on the priority list with all of the other things that are needed. Is Commander Wheatley? There he is. I'll wait for him to catch up very briefly. Yeah, I would love to see that go in. It's unfortunate that we don't have an in-game way of naming our ships. But I'm just kind of going with it. And it's still the Jammy Dodger to me. That's what my ship is always going to be called. Probably the Jammy Dodger 17 now, based on the number of times I've exploded, but it's still the same. Sullivan, you emailed the licensing community at Frontier a week or so ago and you haven't heard anything back. Don't be worried. I imagine they are probably snowed under. By all means, give them a quick prod. If there's anything you need me to do, sir, then by all means just send me a quick message on Twitch or something like that to remind me, and I will try and get them to check that for you. You definitely need your licensing agreement sorted, sir, given on what you are contributing to the community. Yeah, I need more of that RPG. It's awesome. I did see some chat in there. Chiana's Geek. That's thrilling, beautiful crash. It is awesome. I love it. I just the look of it, and I know it was quite funny. One of the things that popped up in the Steam forums the other day was someone was saying there's no way that the backgrounds could be generated on the fly. They must be static backgrounds which are loaded in at certain ranges. And no, I can assure you that every time you go through hyperspace, it calculates what the night sky should look like in that new location, and it is absolutely crazy. It just looks stunning. The detail they've put into it is awesome. The little wisps of all the dust and cosmic material being lit up by the core there, crazy, awesome. Westbeef, how long did it take to get close to the center? It took me about 6 days to get this far. I'll quickly load up the galaxy map, show you where we are. I've got a little red marker is where my ship is near. Oh, there you go. See, most people around here in human space. That's where the bulk of my friends are, over here in human space. And there is a little red marker in there. I can turn this off. There we go. So that's where my ship is. My other ship, way back over here, back near the solar system. That's where I am now. And that's how much further I have to go to the center of the galaxy there. Crazy. Probably around 2/3 of the way now, and it's taken about 6 days to do that. Really, really awesome, but I cannot wait to get there and get back and sell all that data. Well, selling the data maybe not, but you get where I'm coming from. Wheatley T, you're speed running to Sag A. Yeah, that is exactly what I was planning on doing. So, where are you? I can see you. I can see you. There you are. Right. Let's Let's see if you have a route. If you have a route, sir, I might follow you. If I can follow you, that would be awesome. And then hopefully I can just... tell you what, I can engage navlock to you anyway. If you jump, I'll follow. If I jump, you should follow. So hopefully we can team up and scan the systems. Okay, dokie. I will follow, and hopefully that'll give me more chance to check the chat and everything, because it's screaming up past at the moment, so I apologise if I missed any questions on there. Feel free to chuck them in again. Shizzle, what about selling all of the data rather than one page at a time? Now, this is a bit of a contentious issue because it's been brought up many times before. At one point it went down to selling a single item at a time, and it's all to do with the way that it loads up the server with requests, because a lot of additional stuff goes on when you're selling a unit of data for exploration. It doesn't just work out how much it's worth and throw it back at you. It actually has to calculate how much of an impact that data being sold to a given faction has. And ooh, high energy wake. Here we go. Can I wake not scanned? Really? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it does a lot of things. It works out a lot of background information, and they found early on during the beta testing that having a sell all button absolutely murdered the server when people were coming back with pages and pages worth of data and sell it in one go. It really, really killed it, and it was problematic. So they had to take the sell all button out. They did eventually add the sell page button back in to kind of bring some of that functionality back in, but having a sell all button again, I don't see it happening anytime soon, just because of the sheer volume of data that we're talking about going on here. There's Mr. Wheatley. You can see you, sir. Let's have a bit of a scoop. Sorry, Tim, but I scoop on every star. Call it paranoia if you like. That's just me. Right, chat is going crazy, so there we go. Right, go, go, go! I am on your 6, Commander. Do double crashes right when you go to the core and watch it change because you're traveling a straight line. You don't get to see you change over time. Yeah, there was a really, really awesome time lapse that someone put out in the community. I don't have it to hand, but it was fantastic, where someone took screenshots every few systems over and put them all together in a video, and it's really cool when you see the moving through the galaxy with that like crazy sense of velocity. It's amazing. It looks really, really cool. Mara Jaden, am I above or below the galactic plane? I'm kind of right in the center at the moment, so I'm not seeing a lot of it. I'm tempted to go above or below the galactic core when I get closer to it, so I can get a really nice view back down over towards the solar system. That would look amazing. That would be a 4K screenshot I have to take. Come on. Is it going to... There we go. Right, as soon as I get in range, it starts charging. That's cool. Slow. Wow, has anyone been there before as a supergiant black hole? Yes, it's a supergiant black hole. Yep, of everyone saying there was about 100 players ago, and I want to get my name on that list of players. Just because. This is the great thing about the game. It's one of those things you set up a bucket list of things you want to do, and you go off and just do those things. That's what it's all about. There's... you make your own direction, your own narrative, how you want it, what you want to do. That's what it's about. Scooping, scoopy, scoopy, scooping. Is there good money in finding terraforms in Earth-likes there? From Ian Wright, 71. Yes, the terraformable worlds and Earth-like worlds are the most valuable things I think you can find out there. There are a lot of other cool things, neutron stars, black holes, all of those are pretty valuable compared to some of the boring lumps of ice and rock that are out there. Tommins is live. Tommins live. Sorry. Do you think they will ever add more external modules to ships so you can easily make your ship look unique? That's a tricky one because there's a lot of difficulties in doing that, you know, because it changes the bounding box of the ship and potential collision meshes and things like that. Tricky. Like neon lights and air horns and spoilers. Yeah, that's not going to happen, Mr. Jenks. I'm sorry. But yeah, it would be nice. I'd like to see some customizable things. I really loved on Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga. You had the little, when you had the radar mapper, you had the little spinning dish and the little antenna one for the radar mapper, I think it was, and the various things you can get on the outside of your ship was really cool looking. I'd like to see some more things like that. But I'd say it's probably not really going to happen, particularly not for vanity type items. There's just not much utility in it, really. Mindwipe UK, what are my thoughts on the new patch addition for stations? If you're wanted, you would be barred from docking at a station. I have no problem with it, but a lot of forum users blew the stack out like, yeah, docking gate, woo! Let's just, it'll be the next thing. This is what always happens, you know, 99% of what goes into these announcements is really cool and everyone loves it, and there's that 1% that people hate and they explode about it. And all of the good stuff gets forgotten and thrown out and no one talks about it and they rant on about the silly little things. I think it's potentially a good idea because it's going to stop troublesome players from hanging around in locations where they're causing issues. They're going to have to move around. You know, if you can't prevent the players from being evil and causing trouble, then at least if you can kind of force them to have to move around and not be allowed in allied space, that kind of makes sense, really. You know, get them out of the area so they all get pushed away into sin bins, and eventually you'll end up with these kind of anarchy zones making sense. You know, all of those players which are troublesome and causing issues will end up in anarchy zones, and it will naturally fluctuate for a while, but it'll eventually come to some form of order where you won't see these troublesome players in highly populated centers. So that's pretty cool. I think that's going to go hand in hand with the crime update, because I know a lot of people have been complaining about the way crimes are pretty harsh for some things, like accidentally clipping things, you know, not getting docking permission and stuff like that, for example. There's pretty hefty fines for some of those things. So crimes are being updated. Don't worry, crime system's getting a complete overhaul, and it's going to be a lot more fair coming soon. TM. P.S. Leo, apologise if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. I'm terrible for names in there. You bought the game last week? Wow, greetings, Commander. Welcome to the Void. You use the adder for trading. You've got a Viper now. Kept the adder. You feel like going exploring in the adder after watching this. It takes a lot of patience, I must admit. I've had the little voices in the back of my head saying, turn around, Crash. You're crazy. You're not going to make it. It's a completely different experience. It's very much like running a marathon, where the rest of the game's a bit of a sprint. This is like running a marathon. And I think that, you know, it's pretty impressive that the guys have managed to squeeze in gameplay that satisfies people of such a wide variety of interests in gameplay styles. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it. Hopefully you will like it too. Start on a little run first. Go out, pick one of the nebulas which is close by, and go out and explore one of the nebulas. They look absolutely stunning when you get near the inside of a nebula and start, you know, you can't help snapping away at the screenshots. It's really awesome. Oh, crikey. Sorry, I'm going to catch up with the chat. Sorry, guys. Really awesome to see so much chat in here. I apologise if I missed you. Royal Hanky, hi Crash, doing some fighting for me in Teshub. Thank you very much, I really appreciate that. Where do you go to collect the bounties for the Constitution Party of Teshub? Great stream last week, thank you very much. As you can see there, I've still got them. I'm still waiting for the answer back on that, I'm afraid. I don't know myself. I want to cash in my bounties. I don't know yet. It's really unfortunate there's nowhere to cash them in. I'm hoping a future update will fix that and we'll have somewhere to take them. At least a kind of partnered faction or something that we could do that with. There's Mr. Wheatley. Let me just scoop and I will catch up with you, sir. 22 new objects. Now I know you really really old school good explorers out there are probably cringing at the idea that I'm just scooping away, scoop and run, and I'm not exploring any of the bodies out there. I know, it bothers me too. I keep seeing those little dots pop up on my scanner and I want to go scan everything and find those Earthlikes. But I must get to the centre. I must get there. I must get back. And I have a very limited time scale to do it. As I said, I've got some really cool information coming up in the next few streams, and I'm going to have some great guests, and I have a feeling I may need to get back to Civilization beforehand. So... Chinese Geek First Great Expedition is mentioned in the newsletter this time. Yes, yes, yes. Mentioned they will set up a base camp. So let's get onto that. To the comms chatter section.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yep. So the plan for the FGE to set up a base camp about 1,000 light years out, which is really, really awesome to see. I think the additions coming in PowerPlay that we've been talking about, being able to share fuel and help out other players with various things related to exploration and having bigger fuel tanks and that kind of thing, I think that's really going to help those guys do that. And I think they're... Yeah, I've not read through it yet, but I've heard rumblings in the wind about one of their goals is to map an entire section rather than head for a single target and back. One of their new goals is to get out there and map an entire section. And I think that's really, really cool. That's more about what exploration I think was where Frontier were going with exploration for this game, was that idea that you wanted to be more thorough in exploration rather than just picking a single target. So I think that's something really, really cool for them to go for. Hello, I said I was in an adder and ASP is so expensive. Yeah, the ASP, to get an ASP fully Explorer spec, you're looking at about 14-15 million credits, something like that, and then it will cost you a fortune for every little percent of damage you do. Is something like about 20,000 credits. It's insane, and that's just hull damage. I'm going to skim through the chat really quickly. Sorry guys if I've missed you. XRG, it'd be really nice if we could search for these factions. You've got some bounties for the Jet Creative and Co. in hand. I have no idea where to go. I know the feeling. It's really, really tricky. That would be a nice addition for the Gal map. I need to hint at that one. That would be really, really cool. Mind wipe. No, it's not good enough. I need to answer every question. I need to help more. It's just not good enough. Dobbo, yes, I will read the newsletter. I apologise. I'm sorry. I will get right on that. Right, let's get myself set up for scoop away. Okie dokie, let's read that out then. So, the First Great Expedition is organising a communal exploration event starting tomorrow on April the 11th. Their aim is to travel 1,000 light years and establish a base camp as a rendezvous point for various smaller exploration expeditions. Charting the borders of a region of the galaxy, pilots are prohibited from entering. Ooh, exciting stuff. So yeah, a couple of people may have found that there are areas out there in the void that require unknown permits. You just can't go into them yet. This was a fun little fact. And I found a couple of these areas. I know where a few of these are. And I haven't told anyone, but I know where some are. But that's a really interesting thing. Now, Frontier did hint that one of the things they might have to do is block off some areas of the space for future expansions, and maybe where the Thargoids, maybe where they are. So yeah, that's fun to see. So I will have to get onto the FGE forums and find out where they're planning on going. Oh, there you go. The Rigor region is an area of space that we are not able to enter. A representative from the expedition said. The aim of the expedition is to map out the boundary of the restricted area, so a commitment of several days to complete the task would be needed. We'll be gathering at the Lovarojo system. Gotta love the names. Really pronounceable. At grid coordinates 100 minus 88 minus 150 at 1900 UTC. Awesome stuff. I would love to come and join you guys. It would probably take me about a week to get back that far. I apologise, but I will try and spread the word about that. That'd be really, really awesome to see how you guys get on with that. Another thing in the newsletter as well, which I really should point out. I did see this on Twitter. There's an Elite Dangerous screenshot competition being run by PC Gamer, and will be judged by Chris Gregory, the art director at Frontier. That's going to be really, really awesome to see people's screenshots. There's some fantastic screenshots coming out of the game and the community, and that's what I love about. I keep seeing these images popping up on Twitter, and I follow a lot of kind of astronomy blogs and things like that as well. And every now and then I'm skimming through and I see these images, and it's like, oh, have they found a new Earth-like out there? And it's, you know, I thinking it's a real science story or something like that, talking about some new Earth-like planet that's out there, and I open up the tweet and I go, oh no, it's an awesome screenshot from Elite. It's, you know, that's how cool it is. You got to admit, it looks crazy, amazing. Quick check on the chat again. Fiery Toad, great link there. Yes, thank you very much. List of minor factions. That is awesome to know. I imagine that's going to get really, really crazy to maintain that list, because there's so many factions out there. Mind wipe. One thing you'd like to see happen over time in Elite Dangerous is not only the Thargoids and issues, but some other alien races. Yeah, I mean, David's really keen on the idea when you get down to surfaces, you're going to start to see native life forms and things like that on there. Particularly hunting. He really likes the idea of going out and hunting for sport. It's one of the things that was mentioned in a lot of the old books and stories about the game, and I would like to see more detail in there. Now, definitely, there was one other sentient life form that was known about in the Elite lore, and that was the original population of the Achenar system, which unfortunately the Imperials, yeah, got rid of. Should we say that? Yeah. Oh, did that not? There we go. Right, okay. Nearly didn't pick up the wake then. Giant Robot, you made a small video featuring a twin capital conflict in the Derim system. I read about this on the forum, and I saw some of the images of it. I didn't realise there was a conflict going on between two capital ships. OMG, I wanted to be there and see that, and it has to happen the week that I am halfway across the galaxy, doesn't it? Of all the weeks I could pick, I picked this one. But yeah, if that is still going on when I get back, I am so getting involved in that. It looks amazing, and it just reminds me of that the old video, the old Damocles video. Oh, it's exactly what we wanted a year or two ago when we first saw that. That's what the game's about. It looks awesome. Of course, I'd have to burst in there and declare that I bring friends. Quick, catch up with Tim. Tim is not hanging about tonight. He's exploring. This is exploring the way we like it. This is rapid exploring. Not checking out anything on there. If anyone in the chat does actually want to see a little bit more of the exploration and what you're supposed to do when you're out exploring and being thorough, then by all means we'll take a quick pause and have a quick chat on that. And I'll show you some of the detailed scans and things and how that works. Yeah, sure thing, Giant Robot. Go ahead. Yeah, no problemo. If you want to throw links in the chat, by all means. Resri, you streamed that battle last night? Damn, I missed it. I was working crazy hours, so unfortunately I missed it. I would have loved to have seen that. And Commander Jameson would have arrived late in the day. Yes, absolutely. Dobbo, yes, we're not exploring, we're just racing. We're screaming across the galaxy, just trying to get to Sajay. You'll be happy to know, Dobbo, when I started off, I was doing it properly. I was... Oh, this is a T-Towery star, isn't it? I curse you, you flaming ball of useless gas. Yes, still undergoing gravitational contraction. I hate those damn things. They always catch me out. Yes, you with your useless lack of fusion. If you find one of those are the curse of explorers. You think you're near a genuinely useful star, and it turns out to be completely useless, smegging thing you can't get any fuel from. Please charge, please charge. There we go. Shenrei, don't do this to me! Just think how many Earth-likes Crash has skipped past tonight. I know, I probably have, and it's just that little itch in the back of my mind wanting to get the detailed scanner out and scan every single hunk of rock out there. I know I really should be doing that, that's what exploration's about. But, unfortunately, so much is going on in the community, I need to get back to population as quickly as possible. So I need to just zip around Sag A and yeah, get that gravitational slingshot in action and get the heck back to populated space ASAP. Must run, must run. But I was doing it properly to begin with. I was going off and I was scanning all the bodies, checking the sys map. Oh, see, nothing but icy hunks of rock in this system. Nothing to see here. Move along, move along. Commander Blue Patch, greetings! Thank you for joining in on the chat tonight. What happens if you try to land on a gas giant? Currently, you cannot get close to planets. Your drive on your ship will automatically shut down as a safety measure. But eventually, we will be able to get closer and closer to gas giants. That'll come along in a future update. The game is kind of continually expanding. If everyone remembers, way back in the early alpha, you couldn't get very close to planets at all. There was a huge kind of safety radius around the planets. You couldn't get anywhere near it. We've managed to get closer and closer and closer. You're right near the upper atmosphere of most planets now. But eventually you're going to be able to get further and further down and start scooping the gaseous material from gas giants and things like that. So it's going to get really, really awesome. And of course, gas giants, I mean, technically you would probably be buoyant. I mean, it's high pressure and everything like that, but your ship should technically be buoyant on a gas giant, so you would probably just float when you get to a certain depth if you could survive the ridiculous pressure and heat. But that's what shields are for. Which could change how you kit out your exploration vessel. If you need atmospheric shielding, you need to weigh up the cost of the mass of that. I'm speculating again, aren't I? Can't wait for atmospheric shielding. Eee, squee moment. Sorry, I'm having my little daydream there. Yeah, I was considering the other day how atmospheric entry was going to work, and I really like the idea of it's kind of like a mechanic like you have with the interdictions, where you've got to keep within a targeting tunnel. You've got to keep the speed at the right sort of range and everything like that. I like the idea of that. I can see how you would have an approach vector going into an atmosphere of an optimum angle, optimum speed, and all that kind of thing. I like the idea of that. I think that would be really cool, and I'd love to see that when we get down to the atmospheric re-entry stuff. That would be really, really cool. Saturnine, 1 in 1,000 systems has an Earth-like in it. Don't! No! Mind wipe, you never know. If I get that gravity slingshot, I might end up back before they set off. Yeah. If I get that close to a supermassive black hole, who knows what the heck is going to happen. I just want to take some awesome screenshots of it, that's what. R. Carter 2456, what scanner do I have? I've got the advanced scanner and the advanced discovery scanner and the detailed surface scanner. Tim is just chatting to me. Let's see if we can find an Earth-like. See if we can find an Earth-like planet, and then we will go ahead and scan away on that, because it's always awesome to get close to the Earth-like planets. And what have we got here? 30 new astronomical objects. Nope, some gas giant. There's see the rings. Oh, it's awesome. So many cool things to see when you're out exploring. And I hate missing out on these things. There's Mr. Wheatley. There you are, sir. Quick check on the chat. I apologize if I missed you. Tommins is live. You watched a guy watched a YouTube video where the guy spent 3 hours flying to the surface of the planet. He eventually made it, and then he was flying along the surface of the planet. Yeah, I did it back in the early beta. You could do it. There was no limitation to how close you can get to the planet. There was no auto shutdown or anything like that. So you could do it. Now I think you're limited, so you can't get any closer. Silo, yes, you could skim gas giants for fuel in Elite 2 and 3. Yes, you could. It's one of those sore missions that I can't wait for it to come back into this game, but obviously you're going to have to wait until we can get close enough to do that. Dobbo, you flew towards the core of a planet. You insane! Insane, sir! No, it was... obviously there was no limitation in the earlier versions to stopping you doing that, but now I think there's a hard limit in how close you can get to it. But yeah, you could get right down close, and you know, even though the content isn't there to support it yet, the procedural generation held its own right up until you got really close to the surface anyway. It still kept generating more and more detail. I can't wait for some of that detail to be fleshed out. Geek Girly Gamer, oh bless you, thank you very much for the invasion. You guys are awesome. Great to see you in the chat. I hope you had an awesome stream. Sorry I've missed your streams recently. I've been so damn busy. Work has been crazy, and everything going on in Elite right now, it's awesome. So many new things coming, and I've decided to just disappear off into the depths of space doing nothing. It's crazy. Look at that. Look at the chat. Look, chat's gone crazy. I've probably missed your questions. I apologise. Benjamari, hi Crash, new to the game. Greetings, Commander. Thanks for joining. Waiting for the Xbox One release. Awesome. You're a Mac guy. How customizable is the game in terms of ships and gameplay? Can you literally do almost anything as a valid career? Are there a few job-like things you can do? That's a big and complicated question, so I'll try and cover it all. First of all, if you're a Mac guy, jump into the beta. Help us test the beta. That'd be awesome. Can you do almost anything? Careers are kind of a tricky thing. You have to... You can jump and chop between what you prefer to do. I kind of think of it like Skyrim, where you can be a character of any given type at any given time, and the more time you spend doing one thing over another, the better you become at it. But there are no kind of, I'm going to be this class of person, I'm going to be that type of person, or anything like that. It's very dynamic and freeform. So there isn't so much direction in the game, and that's something which, you know, people have given a lot of criticism for that the game doesn't lead you down any particular path in any way, but it kind of lets you pick and choose what you want to do. So there's no careers in that thing. In terms of customizing the ships, you can customize the heck out of the ships. You can buy all sorts of modules. There's all sorts of different ways of speccing out your ship based on what you want to do. For example, here I've got the best frameshift drive I can fit in this one to get me bigger jump range, and I've dropped all of the other modules down to D class, so they're lighter, things like that. So there's lots of different ways you can kit out your ship, lots of different ships, lots of paint jobs you can buy from the online store to not only support the game, but to give that little bit of flair as well, which is awesome. Loads of paint jobs out today. So yeah, there's a heck of a lot you can do in this game, and more is being added every day. The PowerPlay update, which is coming out in which we will hear more about in a few weeks, is going to be really, really big. It's going to add so much more content to the game, so loads of stuff. Look at this, look at the Geek Fleek invasion. Awesome, thank you. Edelweiss, can I say hi to Alfie, please? Hi, Alfie! Greetings! Thank you for joining in tonight. It's your son. Oh, awesome. Thank you for watching. That's awesome. Love to see so many new people coming in the game. I mean, you know, the Steam release and everything was great. It really did show that there's so many more people out there that appreciate the game for what it is and want to get involved in, or will enjoy the game. And just, you know, things I saw in the Steam format, you know, I couldn't believe there was people that played the original game, didn't even hear about the Kickstarter, were absolutely stunned to see a game's coming back, and, you know, there's a new one being made, and here they are, and it's like they've only just heard of it because it's shown up in their Steam recommendation list. How crazy is that? Crazy, but it's awesome. It's fantastic to see the communities. I can't give official figures, but we are approaching 500,000 commanders now, which is insane. 500,000 people. That's so cool. Really, really awesome. Illy00, when is the Xbox release? It's probably going to be around the summer, I expect. XJ Phoenix, wait, the development of Mac? Yeah, it's in Mac Beta right now. There is a native version of Mac Beta. Many of the people out there, early backers, were playing on Mac in boot camp, but there is an official native Mac Beta right now. And it should be available for general public in a few weeks, maybe, hopefully. The Unreal 787, have I played EVE Online? If yes, any comparison to Elite except the dogfights? I have played a little bit of EVE Online. I have not got into it as much as a lot of people. It's very, very difficult to compare because although they're two games set in space, it's kind of like trying to compare a Star Wars film to 2001: A Space Odyssey. The setting is the same thing, but it's a completely different experience. Elite is all about that direct control, jumping in the cockpit, actually having control of the ship, and being in that first person all the time sort of thing. And I know Eve is more about that kind of executive control, organising a fleet and having that more overarching, bigger sort of responsibility. So it's a completely different game in that respect. I love this because of the sheer potential, the volume of stuff which could be done, and how much more is coming soon down the line. Fiery Toad's hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, Elite doesn't hold your hand, and we love it. That's what we love about it. It is not a spoon-fed game. It lets you play it the way you want to play it. Karakino, greetings! Nice to see you on there. T. Corkin, oops, Kerrash knows the release date. Crash knows lots of things that he really shouldn't say, and Crash really struggles to not say the things he really shouldn't say. Damn, curse, yeah. See, this is the problem of sitting down with the CEO and having lunch with him, and he wants to tell everyone all of the really cool things they've got planned and they want to do, and the things that are coming and everything, but you know, it's not the done thing. You have to keep some things quiet. Damn, nearly slipped. Orc Power, where am I located in real life? I'm in the UK. In the south of the UK. Monius, you really like my voice. This is my normal speaking voice now. It's about normal for the UK. A bit of a mix of accents. Giant Robot, you got a good work. Thank you very much for joining the stream tonight. Awesome to see you. Thank you for following. That's awesome. Really do appreciate the support from you guys. This is what the stream's always been about. Is, you know, getting in touch with you guys, sharing the information. Where's Tim going? Losing track. Yeah, it's always been about you guys, and you know, everyone at Frontier really wants to share more information with you guys, but it's just one of those things that they have to be really careful what they do say, because things would just get taken out of context, and it's really annoying that when something goes out and they're really excited about it, they really want to share it. It's good news, it's great information, but then unfortunately it gets blown out of all perspective by the media and things like that, and it becomes a horrible mess to deal with. Where is Mr. Wheatley going now? That doesn't look like we're getting any closer, but okay. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm really trying to struggle to catch up with the chat on there. The Unreal 787, the ancestor of this game? No, it would not be Freelancer. Freelancer was actually... wonder if I have the box available. Freelancer was inspired by the ancestor of this game. The original space game would be this puppy here. Yes, the original Elite that came out on a lot of 8-bit consoles and various machines, home computer systems and things back in the day. Elite was the original open world space exploration game, and a lot of other great games came from that inspiration on there. Freelancer, I believe, is the ancestor to Star Citizen, which is being developed by Cloud Imperium Games. No Earthlikes here either, damn it. Right, right, let's just leave this scooping for a second. I'm going to quickly try and catch up with you guys in the chat. I realise I don't want to neglect you. Elite is the ancestor of all space games. Yes, Commander Jan's back me up there. Friendship drive charging. Ah, yeah, I hear that every time now. Karakino, I should do a bit of Kerbal videos. Crash, I miss my videos. Yeah, I miss Kerbal. I've put in hundreds and hundreds of hours into Kerbal. I absolutely love it. Space games are awesome. Love it. Katie Cat 3000, your fiance loves this game. She's addicted to it. I love it too, but sadly you're being visually impaired. You can't play as much and make it or more accessible, or you might pick it up. Yeah, it's this was one of the things that we spoke about a lot, was things like having the game a little bit easier for people. There's so many controls in it. I know that the color Color blindness was something which was an important aspect of the design of like the UI and things. They tried to take that into account and stuff. It's really tricky to make something which has a lot of content and features in it and also make it accessible. But I would love to get it to the point where as many people as possible can play the game. And I love sharing it with people. That's all. Commander Jean, say the forbidden secrets. I was not. Dobbo, when does my NDA finish? I think I'm permanently attached to that NDA from now on. Slowly working back to my... Yes, I'm a big tease. Karakino, Mr. Brooks is behind me. Oh, it was a big torture stick, yes. Mononus, you have to pack for your trip for Germany tomorrow. Farewell. Thank you for joining in. Say hello to the elite German community out there. I know there's a lot of awesome guys in the German community, like Abacus. He's around somewhere. I've seen him on there. And I cannot wait for you to come over, Abacus, and join us for LaveCon. That's going to be really, really awesome. Can't wait to see you later on in the year. Mr. Junks, I believe Freelancer was one of Chris Roberts' games. Absolutely. Look at that background now. Sorry, Tim. I know I'm supposed to be trying to catch up with you, but look at that background. OMG. Selfie. I almost don't want to put the ship in it because it just looks... oh, man, it's stunning. It's so cool. Let's try and get that selfie cam. Quickly catch up on the chat whilst that's going on. Mindwipe, got a dash. Thank you very much for joining in. Awesome to see you. Harbinger could use some rainbows, yeah. Elite is the forebearer of all space games, including even... Hold on, you guys get your class. GTA, yes. The creators of GTA, I think, were on record saying that Elite was one of the big inspirations for Grand Theft Auto because of that open world, letting you do anything you want to do. You know, that's the awesome thing. Okay, I think I've caught up on there. Let's quickly check back. I think we've covered everything in the update that came out today. Interesting server-side change on there, actually. Decriminalize the limpets. That's a fun one. Oh, and when changing station ownership after a conflict, always treat system controlling stations as more valuable than anything else. So that's to tie in with the recent update and change to the way that factions can swap ownership of the of stations in the game. Let's have a quick chat. Would you believe 1,000 more people have joined in and bought the game since I've been streaming? That is awesome. You guys are amazing. I love it. I love it. It's great. I probably shouldn't share the official numbers, but it's awesome to see those numbers ticking up at such a rate now. It is absolutely crazy. Really, really great to see. I think people have got over that initial fear of what the game was about, what it meant, and why why it didn't have the kind of things. Oh yeah, Tim's found a water world. So let's head out to a water world and I'll show you guys how you're supposed to explore, not rushing across the galaxy. Here we go. Got a nice little water world here. So once you find it on the... Well, actually, let's slow down a little bit. I'm hyped up. I've had too much caffeine. I'm really excited about what's going on. Mr. Junks, not sure if I missed it. Did I cover the loans thing in the newsletter? Right, I do know of this one. Yeah, so there was a lot of complaints about the way that loans have been handled, and one of the interesting things that they've decided to do in the next update is we're going to see, I believe that's a water world. It doesn't look very watery. I should really follow Tim, he probably knows. But yeah, one of the interesting things they're going to do with the loan system is it's going to scale with your rank. So you don't have that really, really horrible, nasty loan bill coming in when you get destroyed. You get some more fair figures coming out of the loans when you get destroyed. So the loan system, for those you don't know on there, if you do get blown up in the game, you have to pay to repair your ship, well, to replace your ship and all of the kit on it. You also have a little bit of a loan afforded to you if you exceed your credit balance. So that is going to be more of a sloping scale now rather than a fixed value, which is going to be cool. I think I caught up on that. Fiery Toad, too much caffeine. Yes, Crash is a bit of a caffeine junkie. I apologise. I get really, really keen and excited. You should have seen me at E3, and it was pretty much nothing but just snacks and caffeine all day in there, and I was just bouncing around the room between 4 workstations, just showing everyone the game. It's like, yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this, running over here, look at this one, oh, look at this, show them the galaxy map, it's awesome, you know, and oh, that's me, sorry, I apologise. So I think this is a water world. Let's get up close and personal to this one. So this is what you should do in exploration. You get out there, you find a system that no one's been to before. It's got no one's name on the map here. You can see it's unexplored. No one's been here. And then you can start to go around. You can look at the interesting things. Now one thing I didn't know up front, that these little facades to show these things here, the little false icons for these planets, they do actually show you roughly what type of planet it is. So you can see I've just scanned this one now. Water world, water rich. Did I say facade? Did I mean facade? That's what I meant. Impossible to contain, yeah. Resri, yeah, you've got experience of working as an ambassador as well. It's so exciting to share the game and let people experience it firsthand. I love that feeling. Unfortunately, aha, see, here we go. So here's an interesting little tidbit. Because I'm in a wing with Tim, I've shared that exploration data, so he didn't have to go and scan it himself. So this is one of the interesting things about the co-op aspect of it. If you do go off and explore together, you can kind of split up and explore things. You can effectively speed up the time that you take to explore an entire system, which is really, really cool. I love the way that works. I love the way that Wings just brings co-op to every aspect of the game. It's awesome. But yeah, Resri, I mean, doing the ambassador thing, sharing the experience of the game, it's awesome for me because I get to see that excitement and feel that feeling of seeing the game for the first time over and over again, seeing people experience it and have that same feeling I did when I played the originals back on the 8-bit and 16-bit machines. And in a lot of ways, I feel sad that I've lost that for myself because I know too much about how games are put together now, and I see right through a lot of the things, and it's kind of unfortunate in a way. But at the same time, being able to share that experience with people, and you know, even letting my son play the game and stuff as well, I love it when he sees things, and I see that sheer joy in his eye when he experiences something for the first time. It is really, really special. I love it. It's really awesome to do. I'll catch up really quick. Oh, okay, sorry, yeah, Double's got a good point there. I want to highlight that really quickly. Looking at the system map 1 near the sun, you can use the 500 light seconds is roughly 1 AU to work out which planet is near on the nav panel. So that's a useful little tidbit there, thank you very much. So you can see the distance in this view shows up the semi-major axis is at 0.07 AU. No, sorry. Am I looking at the wrong detail there? No. Orbital period? No. Where am I looking? I'm looking in the wrong thing. I thought it was semi-major axis. I'm reading the wrong thing. There. Epic fail. 140 light seconds away is the star from here. Where is that? 0.28. Yeah, it is semi-major axis. There we go. It's a very small system, this one. So yeah, so that allows you to figure out which one of those planets are, because of course they're all following real natural orbits in real time. So the damn things could be scattered out all over the place. They're not in a straight line out there in reality. They're scattered all over the place. Let's head on to the next section. Oh, awesome, Silo. That is something I really wanted to see as well in the next major patch 1.3. Selecting your destination on the system map. Oh, crikey. I've missed your wake. Oh, I can find you, though. Where are you? Where's your wake? Let's get closer to your wake. There you go. So if your team members shoot off, at least you've got that wake permanently on there. Yeah, so that's going to be really cool, being able to pick a destination from the system map. That's something I've wanted for a long time as well, so that's going to be great to see that come in. Quick. There we go. Whilst I'm zooming along to that wake, a bit behind, distracted earlier, but you mentioned the UI. Found a colour changer and swapped the red for the blue. And the light blue UI looks really cool. Wish it didn't have to mess up the normal colour coding. Yeah, Raltia, sorry if I pronounced it wrong on there. Okay, some ammonia worlds in there. Yeah, the colour changing HUD thing, it's a feature that Frontier wanted to support. People found out how to put it in even though they didn't have the full support in it, so they kind of patched in enough of a support to keep it there for now so people can change the HUD colors. It's not entirely intended to be a feature in game yet, but they are trying to build some elements in there so you can have it in the UI as a bunch of sliders to make it really easy for everyone to do. So it's not an XML hack, but that will come soon. But obviously in terms of the priority of things they need to get done, it's somewhere near the bottom. Sentinel, yeah, got a good point. Some of those planet icons are not 100% accurate. They're a nice little nod to what you might find out there. As Tim said, this system is full of ammonia types. Here we go. These ones will probably be volcanic worlds, I expect, with some nitrogen or oxygen-based atmosphere, maybe. We shall see. I shall try and catch up. There he is, Tim. Agent Quake, how high are the requirements on the game? I can try and check the official stats for you really quick, but it's not high at all. I've seen people running on this on a huge range of hardware. You probably missed it, but right at the start of the show we were talking about how someone at the last community gathering was running on a Surface Pro 3, would you believe? Which is absolutely crazy. That's insane. That many, the game can run on that much hardware. But yeah, it will scale up and down to a heck of a lot of systems. And if you've got something really crazy, you can run it in 4K resolution and absolute crazy stuff like that. It looks really awesome if you can. Let's see if I can find the... I need to find that for you. I will find that for you very quickly. Find the system requirements. I haven't checked them recently. Damn it, I can't find it on the official website. But what I will do, this is a perfect segue for me to go and check somewhere else. I may be able to find the requirements. And I've been dying to put this on the stream at some point. Quick check, we haven't missed any questions on there. I do apologise, guys. It's great to see the chat so active. It just happened on a night where I unfortunately couldn't get my guest on. West Beef, is there anywhere that lists the value of scanning the planets? Yeah, I did see someone in the community put together a really awesome star chart which showed off all the details on it. It was in a previous newsletter, so if you have seen the newsletters, then go back and have a look at some of the past issues, and you'll be able to find that nice little chart on there. It's awesome. Shows you all the different types of bodies you can find. Oh, there you go. Fiery Toad's put a good link up. See, Toad's an explorer extraordinaire. His level of exploration wildly outweighs mine. Where I've visited a paltry 1,369 systems. I believe Toad has done somewhere in the region of about 8,000 or 9,000 systems, which is insane. There we go. Wait for my friendship drive charging. Kyphonic, you're trying to decide on whether to buy Elite Dangerous or Cities Skylines. I'd expect to be able to play about 4 or 5 hours a week in the next few weeks. Anyone want to offer opinion? I don't want to stand here and tell you to force you to play one game over another. It really does depend on what sort of games you prefer to play. I play a whole variety of games. Elite has always been close to my heart, so You know, this is why I love to play it. It's the sheer scope and the fact that you can do anything you want. But I love city building games. I love the look of skylines. Dobbo, PowerPlay speculation, recruit AIs as co-pilots. That would be pretty cool. "9,087 systems Toad has visited." That is insane. Yes, I want to briefly show this. This is my baby. I love this. I love this. Let's get myself scooping. There we go. And I will quickly show you this. Yes, yes, the official premium box edition. Oh yes, this arrived in the post the other day and I absolutely love it. Fantastic work that the guys have done to put this together. Here's my tickets from the premiere event, the launch event. And here we have the internal live on the air unboxing. Here we go. Nice little pin badge on there you can remove. Nice little internal section here. We can open this up really quickly here. You can see my copy of Elite Legacy. Awesome. Must take this to LaveCon to get Mr. Brooks to sign that for me. And we have the box copy of the game, mint in the box. Soon not to be mint in the box as I check the system requirements. So, Peggy 7. That's an important thing, which my 7-year-old son was ecstatic to see that on the back. He's like, I can play it! Yes! Awesome! So here we go. So we are looking at the specifications are DirectX 11, a quad-core CPU, 2 GHz recommended as a minimum, and 4 GB system RAM, and a DX10 compatible GPU with at least 1 gig of system RAM. So you're looking at something like a NVIDIA GTX 260 or an ATI 4870 HD as a minimum, and at least Windows 7. So there you go. That's the recommended specifications there. And like I said, if you can run it on something insane like a dual Titan monstrosity crazy machine thing like that, then yes, you can run some crazy awesome 4K stuff on there and it looks absolutely awesome. Reality, they totally need to add my friendship drive as a voice clip into the game. They've missed April Fool's Day this year, but yeah, that would be really, really awesome. I have been looking at modding the game files so that I could have custom sounds in there. I would love to do that. I'm still considering how to do that. Modding the game is not entirely out of the question. It's just they weren't able to support it at launch, and it is something that David would like to add in. Karakino, yes! Kiss my ass. You got it. Yeah, this was lovingly created by another member of the community for me. It's absolutely awesome. I don't believe they are available to buy, but see, I get some great things donated to me on this stream. It's absolutely awesome. I've had some fantastic people give me some awesome gifts over the years, and it's always great to receive things like that in the post. I love getting the, you know, it's awesome to get the donations. I had some crazy donations this week, so thank you if you've all clicked the donate button and donated. Every penny is very much appreciated, and like I've always said, I spend it on putting it back into this stream. I always get more stuff for you guys, whatever you fancy on the stream, like the green screen, the cameras, all the stuff that you wanted to put on the stream. I always put it back into the stream, so the donations are very much appreciated. But yeah, like I said, getting these things sent to me is just mind blowing. It really is. Gets me right here. It does. It really does. JX Jester, oh, Amiga, yes, that is. Unfortunately, you missed the 100th stream, which was awesome. I had all the old machines up and running. The MIGI, the Spectrum, the NES, all the old machines running. I had 3 of the devs came on, and they teamed up with Wing. We played some of the old games. It was really, really awesome on the 100th stream. It was fantastic. Really, really enjoyed it. We had a great time, and it was great to play the older games again. All fully working on physical hardware. None of this emulation rubbish going on. It was physical hardware, like this little beauty here. This is my pride and joy. I love this thing. I love it. It's absolutely awesome. It's my little baby. Scum! Greetings, Commander! Thank you for hosting me. That's awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Great to see you. I hope you've had a lovely stream, sir. Did Palisaz, what about stream keys for the FD store buyers? Yes, we touched on this right at the start. Frontier are trying to look into it. The decision is not entirely up to them. That was the key thing that they said in the update today. They're working on it. They can't make the decision on their own. They need to get buy-in from people at Valve as well, basically. And there is probably going to be a cost involved in doing it, so they're trying to get it sorted as quickly as possible. But their hands are kind of tied with it, unfortunately. They want to get it sorted for us. But as I said right at the start, one of my concerns is if there's going to be a big cost in either money or resource to get the keys out to us, I would quite happily say no, don't, you know, I would give up my Steam key. If it's going to take money away from getting the future updates out in there, let's just get that money there instead of on there. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, there's a link to the 100th show. I really should put a permalink down in the stuff below. It was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. It was really, really good fun. Best stream yet. On to 100 more if I can survive that long. Pirate247, any chances devs might implement in-game player organizations almost like a guild? It's been touched on. A lot of people think that it's an outright no, but it's not. It's something which has been talked about on the design forum. We discussed it in some length about how that might work. Wings is very much just a first kind of testing the waters of getting groups of players together and cooperating. But yeah, I would like to see some more bigger factions working together as a thing. It is rumoured, a lot of people are speculating out there that the PowerPlay update coming in soon will add some of that functionality in for allow groups of groups to be working together in a more organised fashion. I would love to see that come in as well. I think that would be really, really awesome. I mean, anything which carries on expanding the functionality and the features in the game, for me, is awesome. You know, +1 to that, want more of it. And all of the guys in the office as well, every time I speak to them about something, because I mentioned about the idea I was saying earlier on in the stream about the idea similar to the interdiction mechanic, having that same sort of mechanic for when you're entering in the atmosphere and having to keep it within range and everything. I mentioned it to a couple of guys and they're like, that's really cool, we've got to put that in the game. So they're as crazy as us. They're gamers at the end of the day. They want really cool features in. They've just got so many hours in the day, so they're just trying to prioritize what goes in a logical fashion, really. Resri, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, the only real benefit of having a Steam key at the moment is being able to write a review, and also to add to the player numbers. Because, like I said, I mean, it's awesome at the moment. We're let's get the live figures. We currently have 7,295 awesome commanders in the Steam community playing right now. That is absolutely crazy. We did hit an all-time peak over the Easter weekend of 7,440, which is crazy. And I know we've had at least 1,000 more players join in the time that I've been streaming and playing the game. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, I love it. Oh, and Tim's just upset me there. Only 11,000 more light years to go. Why did I decide I was going to do this? Be strong. You guys will encourage me to keep going, won't you? I must reach the center of the galaxy. Come on, guys. Elaborate, you can guarantee that if they offer Steam keys, then you'll get a backlash from people who expect that it grants them a second account with it. Yeah, and this is one of the tricky things with it, is you can't just go out, generate a bunch of Steam keys and dump them out into the inboxes of the hundreds of thousands of people which have already bought the game, because that's basically giving them a free copy of the game that they can then hand off to anyone else. The tricky part is working through that list and getting the right keys out to the right people and associating it with the right accounts. How do you do that? It's an absolute admin nightmare, so that's where some of the complexity comes in, and they're trying to work through that as best they can now. KTCat 3000, are there plans for huge capital ships herself wants to fly? Like Dreadnought class ships. I don't believe there is any plans to do that, because that would start to ebb the game more towards that executive control sort of style which Eve is going for. It would be cool if you could walk onto the bridge of one of those ships. Now that's not necessarily ruled out when we can get out and walk around inside ships. I don't see why we couldn't approach that. I definitely can't wait until we can get out in the stations and start walking around all those docking bays. That's going to be really, really awesome to see. But yeah, currently there's going to be no plans for an individual player in the game to be important enough to be at the command of a ship like that. It kind of goes against the ethos of what the game is, where you as a player, you really are quite insignificant, and the only way to do anything is to band up and team up together, I think. Salazen! Farewell, Commander! Thank you for joining in. I will have to try and check out your stream. I know you've got an important charity stream going on soon, so please keep nagging me for the details on that, and I will share it out. It's awesome. Someone travelling to the centre, yes. I'm mad. I'm mad, I tell you. Yeah, the little voices have been telling me for several thousand light years I should turn around and get the heck back to populated space. Da, da, da. Yeah, Dobbo, absolutely. This game does not hold your hand. If it's worth doing, it should be hard. We choose to go to the center of the galaxy. We choose to do it on this stream, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Oh, crikey. So many cool looking planets. I want to check them all out, but I also need to get there quickly. Realtia, yeah, Humble Bundle did a automatic key activation based on your account, so that's something that needs to be worked out. They have direct Steam API integration, I think, to get that working. That's something that obviously Frontier would have to spend time and effort developing some interface to do the similar sort of thing there, so you can log on with your Elite Dangerous account direct on the website and then generate a key specifically for yourself, which would only work for your account and that kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff that goes in behind the scenes to make that happen. It's not a quick, simple thing. Niru Palmer World, yeah, you can add it as a non-Steam game. I don't understand the hurt either. It's just one of those things. Can you get this? Can you get that? Doesn't make a blind bit of difference. At the end of the day, everyone screaming about it is just taking time and effort away from the important things in the game, much like all of the other previous rants. And there will be future rants. Every time there is a great announcement with awesome stuff coming, there's always that one little thing which people find to rant about, which is unfortunate, but it is the nature of things. Ah, Katie Cat, you're from North Ireland. Awesome. Greetings. Sounded just like James Mason. Oh, G X Juster, farewell. Thank you for joining in. Gonna take the Amiga out. I know what your weekend's gonna involve. Sorry. I have to find all the floppy disks as well and load them all up. I'm absolutely shocked and in awe that most of my floppy disks are still working, which is awesome. And actually, as everyone is saying goodnight, I've just realised we are running over the show slot. I am probably eating into someone else's stream time now. So we better wrap up things very quickly. If anyone does have any more questions and all they want answered before we finish up on the stream, please do go ahead and ask away. I will try and answer as briefly as I can. Ooh, we're heading closer and closer. 12 minutes ago. We're only 30 people away from the all-time peak again. This weekend we're going to go even higher. More people on Steam, more commanders. Come on, we can do it.
Frameshift charge detected.
Rightio.
Fuel scooping complete.
Quick questions on there. Also forgot, you saw in the newsletter, prohibited space. Galaxy players can't enter Thargoid space. Maybe, yep. Maybe that is Thargoid space. Might be. People are actually saying they wanted to buy the color schemes expansion via Steam. That would be understandable. Yeah. I don't get it. Igor Sloth, if I get the game, what do you do? Level up, farm, PvE, PvP, build missions? Not building, but all of the other things, any way you want to do them, basically. Any way you want. So I don't think there's any more questions on it, so I think I shall wrap up very, very quickly. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in tonight. And it's awesome to have you along. Great to see so many new people in the community. But until next time, Commanders, see you in the void.